Let's take a trip down memory lane with this Walt Disney World Pictorial Souvenir. Hello everyone, I'm George Taylor from ImagiNERDing. Subscribe to my channel to get updates whenever I release new videos about Disney theme park books, Disney history, and more. For anybody that's ever visited Walt Disney World during the past 50 years, you may have picked up one of these Walt Disney World Pictorial Souvenirs. Fortunately, they really stopped publishing these in the early 2000s. But this is a great one. It is from 1977, and just love the graphic imagery right on the front cover. And you've got so many photos here that just catch your attention, including attractions from inside the Magic Kingdom, as well as what to do with the Vacation Kingdom of the world. And some of the images you can't really see anymore. This one here at the bottom with the Walt Disney World Railroad, and they're golfing outside of oh wow, I should have taken a closer look at that. That looks like that's where Saratoga Springs is now, basically. And you've got a great image on the top left-hand corner of the Polynesian and one of the ships, one of the boats. So let's open this up and take a look. Okay, so once we get the cover open, down here at the bottom it does have a copyright. That is for 1977 in Roman numerals. And you get a great shot, a postcard shot that we've seen a lot of the Vacation Kingdom of the world, with the golf resort here at the bottom, Polynesian resort, the Ticket and Transportation Center, the Contemporary, and the Magic Kingdom over to the side. And again, they're showing you the sheer size of this place. On the right-hand side, you get the dedication plaque from Roy Disney and some astounding photographs. I love this shot of the young girl walking with a sombrero. Assuming this is in Frontierland, right by the rivers of America. And this astounding shot of Mickey Mouse from behind as people are taking photographs of him. It's just such a neat photograph. You don't see that very often. All right, let's move on. And this great graphics package that they did. So they talk about Walt Disney World as a whole. Of course, this is the top of the world at the Contemporary Resort. And you get a great overview of the Polynesian, Fort Wilderness, and one of the shops at the Polynesian Resort. And they're trying to show you everything that you can do outside of taking a trip to the Magic Kingdom. Wonderful shots again of the Vacation Kingdom of the world, shots of the monorail, one of the cruise ship pilots, one of the boats, and then of course you've got one of the original, I guess in 1977, one of the steamships going across. Oh, that's great, because you got the side wheel steamers in here. No photographs of those yet. But then on the right hand side, a wonderful overview of the Magic Kingdom in 1977. Not quite the heyday, but pretty exciting. So this would be before the Toontown expansion, before Big Thunder Mountain and Splash Mountain were part of the Magic Kingdom. Very neat. Okay, whoops, jumped one too many. So we jump into the Land of Magic, Main Street, USA. Some great shots. This one I'm assuming was taken from the castle, probably from close to where Tinkerbell takes flight, maybe a little bit lower. You can see there were trees on Main Street. Again, you can see that with this bottom one. And they're trying to give you an idea of all the things you can do at Main Street, just walking. And I love staring intently at this one, or getting close-up details, because you can see some of the changes that have happened over the past couple of years with that area right out front where the docks were, sort of hiding some of the views. More shots of Main Street in motion with one of the vehicles. Look at all the vehicles that are at Main Street, you know, when people stayed on the sidewalks more or less. Images of some inside of some of the shops, which you can see. And I love this picture because this is an early photo. This is documented on Fox Fur's Passport to Dreams, that this is probably one of the first park maps that they're holding, and maybe one of the preview days. Anyway, so you got the Plaza Swan boats over here, and those were gone, I believe, in what, 83, 84, and the Walt Disney Story down there at the bottom. Fantasyland, some great images of the castle. Inside the castle, a great shot of King Stephan's Royal Banquet Hall, and it's very adult oriented if you look, very romantic. And again, watch these photos as we go through. You've got a senior citizen couple riding the merry-go-round, the carousel, which they wouldn't have done today. Dumbo in its old location, and I love this shot up here of the toddler facing off against one of the dwarfs. Great shot of Fantasyland with the Skyway in there. The Skyway, I guess we're seeing it to Tomorrowland. more attractions in Fantasyland. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I almost said Mickey's PhilharMagic. Oop, the Mickey Mouse Revue. You got the Snow White attraction that used to be there. Peter Pan. The Fantasy Fair stage. And then we jump over to Adventureland with some great photos of the area. Look at the Jungle Cruise. There are no trees there. That's astounding. This is probably a very early photo as well. Some of the shops in Adventureland. You can't really see these views any longer. The backside of water on the left-hand side. This is probably the JP and the Silver All-Stars, I believe was their name, or the Silver Stars. But look at these shots of Adventureland from inside of a shop. You will not catch Disney doing an image like that today. A shot of one of the balconies. There's the Traders of Timbuktu, and this gentleman trying to decide on making a purchase, I'm assuming. These are just wonderful, wonderful images. And then, okay, so Pirates of the Caribbean still would have been pretty big in this area at this time, because it was 1977. It would have been open only for a few years. And you can see they've got some show scenes, well-lit show scenes, I might add. So they probably took those when guests weren't there. Tomorrowland, this is a great shot of Space Mountain at the bottom, and then you can see also the original entrance to Tomorrowland with the water fountains. And now we've got giant rocks, which I guess rocks are from the future. And you've got this stellar image of the gentleman on the Grand Prix Raceway going very, very fast. They did a good motion blur with the contemporary to show his speed. More shots of Tomorrowland, including at this point in time, this would have been 1977, would have been, yeah, Mission to Mars. It was Rocket to the Moon beforehand. You see the mission control area, great tableaus of Tomorrowland, the People Mover, and just a great vista of the area. And, you know, there's the Carousel of Progress, one of the original color schemes for it, which has seen a lot of changes. Okay, moving on to Frontierland. This is great. This is a picture of a nun taking a photo. Absolutely love it. So look at this busy waterway here for the Rivers of America. So this is the Liberty Square riverboat dock, and the entrance into Frontierland as well. But you've got Aunt Polly's dockside, the Haunted Mansion in the corner, and then the keelboat and the keelboat dock right there. I mean, when you walked through this area in the 70s or the 80s, it would have been just transportation on this river all the time. So shot of the rafts going over to Tom Sawyer Island, a couple sitting on a bench, the Diamond Horseshoe Review. Is that it right there? It's hard to see that from here. Anyway, so color changes galore, and you see some shots of Tom Sawyer Island and our lovely spooky house. Okay, moving over, got some more. The Country Bear Jamboree still would have been a showstopper. And then we merge into Liberty Square. And you can see with Liberty Square, they really, this is right around the time of, the bicentennial. People had bicentennial fever. It's a beautiful shot. I want to see if I can recreate that shot. You really can't because of the changes to the front of the building. But again, another beautiful shop of Ye Old World Antiques, which is now the Christmas shop, and the Silversmith, and the Mademoiselle's Parfumerie, Lafayette's Perfumery was in that area. So much has changed in Liberty Square. Okay, so wow, we're done with the Magic Kingdom. That didn't take too long, only about 20 pages or less. So now they're going to talk about the Land of Hospitality. Again, I love this graphics package. They've got the Contemporary Resort, which of course the monorail, the Polynesian Resort, and there's a very sprawling photo, and you can see there still is a lot of expansion that will happen from the Polynesian as well. And then we get a more in-depth look at the Polynesian. And I love these books because you can see the images of the rooms a lot of times and some of the interiors. So that top one, if I am seeing it correctly, I'm pretty sure they removed the doors for this photo shot. The glass doors that you would have had. Great shot of the interior, which hadn't changed until recently, of course. And the luau. And you always see Disney during the 70s with pictures of these boats with the flag sails. That just screams 1970s Walt Disney World. So we're moving over to the Contemporary Resort. Again, look at this image. You can see that they removed the door, so you get this great view. Look at that TV and the chairs. Anyway, so a shot of what I guess for a while was the teen pool. That was that round pool out there at the Contemporary, and a great shot of the Mary Blair mural and eating. And then on this side, one of the shops, probably the at the time they had separate hairdressing shops for men and women. I believe that's the one for the women. And this is probably Kingdom Jewels, I think. I'm going to get in trouble for not knowing that, but or Kingdom Jewelers or something like that. But look at these great shots of inside the Contemporary Resort. Love it. All right, the Wilderness Land, which is basically Fort Wilderness. Again, you got these wonderful shots of all the activities that you can do during your vacation, because even if you weren't staying here, you could mosey on over to Fort Wilderness and partake in a lot of the activities, including canoeing, seeing the farrier, walking, bicycles, taking the tour of the swampy area. They had the sing-alongs, campfire sing-alongs. The land of recreation. Obviously, lots to recreate, more or less. So a lot. So river country is now gone. That's a great view of river country. The old swimming hole. You could take some of the water sprites around, ride horses. There's the old Discovery Island with the wreck of the Hispaniola. Wow, excuse me. And you can do tandem bikes. Oh, and tennis too. And this is interesting. So the golf resort doesn't have a graphics package. So the golf resort was built a little bit later. I believe 1973 is when it was opened, because the Disney executives really loved golfing. And they knew Floridians liked golfing. And a lot of times the Disney execs would eat over here and spend time golfing during the 70s. But you see these great views of the restaurant, the view of the pool that's got those famous little four rockwork fountains that are coming up. This great overview of the golf resort itself. It's wonderful. And then on the left-hand side, you've got this woman who is obviously worn out from shopping, taken from, I'm assuming, inside one of the hotels. Based on the rockwork, it's either the golf resort or the Polynesian. And it's probably one of the lower level rooms that had a large balcony you could walk out on. And then this is great. I'm assuming this one is on the path from Fort Wilderness. What we would now, it's probably the Fort Wilderness area, but you've got that canoe, and they were taking a bicycle, and there's just a canoe launched there. So probably close to the, Fort Wilderness river country area would be my assumption. And then we've got the Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village on the right, which had only been open for a few years, and a great overview, which is now, of course, what we know as, Disney Springs. Because this is sort of where the World of Disney store is now, sort of, in this area. And Saratoga Springs is up around the top part over here on this side. But such an amazing area. This was supposed to be where you went to get your groceries and did all your shopping for the week while you were here. And like the synergy, you can't deny the synergy of the Walt Disney Company at the time. And, visit California because you can see the stuff at Disneyland, which of course they showed some of the unique things like the Matterhorn, the different colored subs, their version of the monorail, and the sailing ship Columbia. So what a wonderful view. And then ends up with the Vacation Kingdom of the World. And this is a great shot taken right before the water bridge that you drive under. But the boats go over the water bridge. So I absolutely love this guidebook. So do you have a favorite guidebook? Do you have a copy of this one? Do you remember visiting Walt Disney World in the 70s? I've got so many questions, and honestly, I would love to hear from you. I'm George Taylor from ImagiNERDing, and I hope to see you in the parks.